cycling has always been an extremely personal experience to me in so many ways. I cycle to heal, I cycle to excite, I cycle to discover. My name is Xande. I'm originally from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and I moved to the United States about 22 years ago. I am a designer and I work in making messaging accessible to everyone. Growing up, I was bullied and I ended up being a lonely kid. My dad worked at Xerox at the time and gave me free A3 papers, and I spent a lot of time drawing spaceships. And inside those spaceships was an alternative world, was a world that I belonged. And that actually got me to design when I think what I do today and how I got here, my path. And at the same time, I also discovered cycling. My cousin was riding mountain bikes and introduced that to me. And that opened a whole new world. People did not bully me. We rode individually, but as a group. So there is that personal moment of solitude, but then there's community that was around it. It pushed my limits, made me see my town with different lenses. The idea of having a bike that was designed with an attention to detail of how I ride was something that I thought that was unachievable. But fast forward 20 years, I saw myself in a situation that was a possibility. Above Category came, and the team there was just so kind and just so open to just understand. I wanted something that was a reverence for how I grew up. I also wanted something that was an ode to Marin and something that actually fits me. This was a chance to do it right. They were able to translate what I wanted to experience, my memories of cycling, which also the future of cycling, right? Because we're not in the 90s anymore. Prova especially, it just rides like nothing else, and it's a bike that hopefully I'll have forever. Riding the road was never something that I thought I enjoyed very much, although I love those bikes when I look at them. And then I have always had a respect and a reverence to the simplicity and craftsmanship of Italian bikes. And Pegoretti is something that I always knew about Dario, about their studio, about how they would translate the emotions of someone that wants their bike. And they had one there. It was my size, and then I saw the paint up close and I could see the brush strokes of the hand-painted frame. I remember that I hopped on the bike and I just held the handlebar. I was like, I want it. This bike has to be mine. I went on one ride and I fell in love with riding on the road. It felt pure. Felt the feedback of the brakes, the pop of the gears shifting up and down, the silence. I could hear my own breathing. I felt that I just was riding these roads that I knew that they existed, but I rode them in a way that I never did before. And now that's the bike that I've probably been riding the most, and continue to fall in love with it, with its simplicity and what it brings to me. It's very cool.